I'm just saying, I think I was meant to be old, aristocratically wealthy, and also Maggie Smith. Anyway, hi, hello, welcome to the latest installment of Simon Wants to Talk About His Silly Little TV Shows, and this one's special, this one's different, because today I'm talking about Downton Abbey. Now, here's the thing. What was the last show I finished? Game of Thrones. The last show I finished was Game of Thrones. And I needed a sort of a psychological reset, so I did Downton Abbey. Now, here's the thing with Downton Abbey that makes Downton Abbey unique. I've seen this show before. Not all of it. I have not seen all of it, but I saw the first, I think, 4 seasons of it, and then I stopped. But I'm culturally aware of it for one key reason. My mom fucking loves this show. This is very possibly my mother's favorite show ever. Like, she's seen it probably 10 times in its entirety. So, I'm aware of, like, certain things. Like, I know, spoilers, by the way, before I get into it. If you haven't seen it, it's actually really good. But, I know, like, Carson and Hughes get married at one point, like, later down the line. I know, what else do I know that happens, like, later in the seasons? Doesn't Mary become, like, fully royalty at one point? I know there's a lot of stuff that happens down the line that I never saw. And then there's the stuff that I know because I was there. Like, I know Matthew dies, I know Sybil dies. Like, I know a lot of people die. And here's the thing, right? When I was, like, rewatching The Handmaid's Tale, I didn't make character ranking videos for that show simply because I'd seen the first 2 seasons before. And then by the time we hit seasons 4 and 5, I just needed to die. And then I made, like, 4 videos about season 6. But I've made an exception in this moment simply because I forgot the show in large part. I watched it as it aired, right? So we're talking, like, early 2010s. And also, like, I forgot there's a whole plot arc where Robert borderline has an affair in season 2. I forgot that Mary's fiance was, like, such a character. I forgot so much of the show. So I decided to make an exception because even though I've seen the show, I apparently forgot a lot of it. Anyway, we'll get into it. We'll get into the characters and the character rankings, but first I need to make one thing abundantly clear, which is just to cover my bases, because I know crazy people, like, exist because I was raised by one. I know there are people who are deranged about this show because one of them literally brought me up as a human, so I'm giving you all a warning, which is that these are my opinions, right? This character ranking is just my opinions, and you can disagree with it if you want to. You can disagree with every tier. The other thing is that I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. Because, again, I only saw through season 4, and I don't remember a lot of it, but I'm gonna try and only talk about, like, seasons 1 and 2 characterizations, because, again, I forgot a lot of what happened in season 3. Like, I don't think there's any characters that I remember who, like, really annoyed me in, like, season 3, season 4, that don't already piss me off. So, like, we're gonna get into it, okay? We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna try and only cover the first 2 seasons. There will be spoilers, obviously. And also my opinions. Those are the things you need to know before we can begin. Alrighty, here's my screen. I did make this tier list. Stealing is a harsh word, but I've been borrowing tier lists. This one I made myself. Maybe one day I'll, like, fully publish it so other people can do it. For now, it's just a temporary one that I made real quick, okay? We're gonna run through the tiers, and then we're gonna do you know how tier lists work, right? Like, even if you've never seen my tier list videos, you know how they work. So let's start at the bottom, okay? Literally just die already. These are the characters that I want dead. These are the characters that I hate, that I just want off the show. I don't care how it happens, okay? There is one character that I know is in this bottom tier, and last time I checked, they do not die, which does upset me greatly. I don't actually know how many characters are going to be in this bottom tier. There's really only one character I can think of as I look at who's on the screen that, like, pisses me off real bad. So, we'll see. Either way, good, but I'm not compelled. These are the characters that I think, like, have potential, right? They're the characters that I think, had certain circumstances changed, primarily they either given them different storylines or just more screen time, I would have liked them a lot more. But for now, they're fine. They're there. I'm not super compelled. Tell me more is the ones where, like, I see the vision, right? Like, I'm starting to like them. I want you to tell me more. Tell me more about them. Give me more lore. Give me more details. Tell me more. Kind of obsessed with these are the characters I like, right? These are the characters that I like, that I greatly enjoy, and that I am kind of obsessed with. And then, of course, an icon, a legend, the moment. These are my favorite characters. These are the characters that I love, that I adore, that I would end bloodlines for. Right off the bat, actually, I've already lied, because there's going to be 2 characters down here, if nothing else. I didn't like her. I didn't like her entirely because her entire plot arc is one that I don't believe would have actually happened, right? Here's the thing. Robert Crawley, God bless his soul, he is in love with his wife. He may not have married her for the right reasons, but he is very devoted to his wife. I don't think he'd have an affair, right? Like, I reject this entire plot line on premise. This is the maid he had an affair with, kind of. Or at least, like, would have. I don't know how to describe it. It's the maid he kissed, if nothing else. And I rebuke it. I reject this plotline. I don't believe that Cora was suddenly so busy dealing with their house being a hospital that, like, she paid him so little attention that he started having an emotional affair. I don't believe you. I don't believe that would have happened. And also, I firmly believe that man values, like, his role in society, and specifically in relation to his servants, in a way that would not have allowed him to have an affair with a servant, right? Like, I don't believe any of this plotline would have come to pass in actuality based off him as a character. Her, I don't care. We don't know her. We know her husband's dead and she has a kid. That's all I got from her. But for him, I rebuke this plotline. I reject this plotline outright. I would like a written, formal apology on my desk. Let's do Cora Crawley. Cora, I'm actually going to put mid-tier. I do like her. I feel like I remember liking her more in, like, my memories of watching the show the first time. I remember really liking her. And I'm watching it back this time, and I really think it's just because she was beautiful. Because she's not giving me a ton, right? I think she's interesting. I think there's stuff there. Like, the meat is there for me to be really obsessed with her. But, like, she doesn't do anything so far. And I do think that after Sybil dies, her grief, like, did kind of hit me in a way, like, if I recall correctly from my first viewing of the show. But, like, as of right now, as of the end of season 2, she doesn't do much for me, but I want her to. Let's just bob around a bit. We're not going in order. Cousin Isabel, good, but I'm not compelled. I think she's fine. I like what she brings to the table, both as, like, a foil for Violet and as, like, her vibe with Matthew. Like, I like what she brings to the table, but it doesn't do much for me, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, she's fine. I don't dislike her as a character, but I'm not that compelled by her. Who am I going to put in the kind of... Let's put Daisy. I actually like Daisy. Season 1 Daisy did piss me off bad. I hated her crush on Thomas. It made me want to die and vomit and curl up in a ball and never see the light of day again. I hated it. I hated it so bad. But once she, like, got over that, she fake married William for, like, 90 seconds. And then she had to, like, sort of grapple with that whole experience. I like her now. I actually think she's really interesting as a character. I do remember, like, going forward, she has a great vibe with William's dad. They, like, teased it at the end of season 2. But, like, I did really like her by the end of season 2. Season 2 is a good season for her. I need someone for my top tier, and of course that is William. I fucking loved William. William was my boy. That was my son and my best friend. I loved him so much. He was just so fun and sweet and nice and kind. And I knew he died because, again, I'd seen the show before, and I remember loving him the first time I saw the show too. And I remember being despondent when he died. My mom, because I started watching Downton Abbey after, like, I think I started it when season 3 was airing, if I recall correctly. Or at least season 2. William was dead when I started it, and I do remember that. And I remember my mom did not tell me that. And then she walked in on me crashing out over his death. And was like, oh, sorry, I should have warned you about that. And I was like, you think? You think you should have warned me? Because she knew I liked William, right? I adore that boy. I spent every second of his screen time hyping him up. That was my best friend. That was my child. When he punched Thomas in the face, I cheered with sports fan-like glee. Okay, I was like, William should beat him up. And then William did beat him up, and I was like, yes, hit him again. Hit him again, and hit him harder, and then kill him. Okay, fine, let's talk about Thomas. I hate Thomas. I hate Thomas more than I hate most things, okay? More than I hate most characters in television. I can't fucking stand him, right? It's not even that, like, I'm not compelled by him, which I'm not. This man has been involved in no plot lines that I find interesting so far. And in the 2 seasons that go forward that I remember parts of for him, he is involved in one plot line I find interesting, and it's for a different character. Because I like that other character. I don't like Thomas. Thomas doesn't give me anything. There's no moment Thomas is on screen that I'm in a good mood. Okay? Like, Thomas, without fail, has ruined every scene he's been in. I can't stand him. I hate him. I want him gone. As for his bestie, Miss O'Brien, actually I'm intrigued by. Season 2 is another good season for Miss O'Brien. Here's the thing. She did something that is objectively and undeniably indefensible. Indefensible and irredeemable when she made Cora miscarry. That is one of the worst things a human being has ever done in television. I'm willing to stand by that, and I've seen The Sopranos multiple times. Okay? And I would put that in like a top 10 most heinous acts I've seen on television. So, like, there's that. And then she spent all of season 2 being like, no one can touch her. She really said, I'm going to spend the rest of my human life making this up to her. Keeping her safe and happy. And it's compelling to me. It is. I want more of it. If I recall correctly, I think she leaves. Did I make that up? Did she leave the show? Either way. My point is, she just adores Cora in a way that I find fascinating, and I want them to tell me more. Okay, let's talk about Gwen. Gwen, I actually also enjoyed. I wanted them to tell me more about her. Actually, I take that back. She had a good arc. I am kind of obsessed with her. Here's the thing. If you watched my Game of Thrones video, you will know this actress played a character that I hated more than anyone. She was like bottom 3 characters I wanted dead. And it's just, I do not remember that she was in the show. Not an original thing, actually. There are multiple characters that were in Game of Thrones that I did not remember were in Downton Abbey. So, the point is, I forgot she was here. And then she showed up, and for the first, 2 or 3 scenes she was in, I was like, not this fucking bitch. Not her again. Get her off this show. Because I did remember she left. Once she started, having a plot, I was like, oh, I remember you. I remember what happens to you. And I know I was right. But either way, for her, she had a good plot. She had a good storyline, right? She had a good, complete little narrative in this show in a way that I really liked. In a way that I was quite compelled by. And in a way, not that made up for her experience on Game of Thrones. That still causes me psychic damage. But, for her Downton Abbey arc, I'd give it to her. Also, she's really pretty. Now let's do the other Game of Thrones character, actually. He was fine. He was fine. I did actually like his arc a certain extent. Here's my thing with him. Can I be honest? Because I just finished season 2, 30 minutes ago max. And here's my thing with him. He was low-key right to be really mad at Mary. Because here's the thing, right? I get that you're not supposed to be, team... What was his name? Richard? I think so. I called him Mormont the entire time. I'm so sorry. But, you're not supposed to be team him, right? You're supposed to want Mary to get with Matthew. And, sure. But the thing is... And, I also knew that's where the show was going. I knew they didn't get married, obviously. But, I would have been pissed too. I'm gonna say, if my fiance had her ex-fiance around and was constantly flirting with him, constantly choosing him over me, I'd be mad too. I'd be like, can we leave? Can I have some time with my girl? Because, here's the thing. Was he annoying? Yes. Yes, he was. But he was right to be annoyed when he was pissed at Matthew. When Matthew would walk into the room and he'd be like, can we not talk about Matthew for 5 seconds? And then Matthew would show up and he'd be like, a fucking course Matthew is. I was like, I too would have been like, a fucking course Matthew is here. That would have made me want to shoot the man. You know, where is Matthew? Let's do Matthew now. Matthew is a fine character. Matthew is a fine character. I feel like he is kind of, not no thoughts, head empty. Because he does seem to have an inner world going. But it is not an inner world that I care to learn anything about whatsoever. Matthew Crawley is a fine character, okay? I don't think he's boring by any means, but I don't think he has compelled me a single time this entire show. I will say, he was right to dump Mary. When he dumped Mary that first time in season 1, he was right to dump Mary. I'll say it. I too would have been kind of pissed. I too would have thought that she was using... Mary Crawley... God bless your soul. You are a baddie, and I do like you, but, these men are right to be mad at you. Actually, let's do Mary. I do like Mary. I do like Mary. Mary is our main character, I think. Unofficially. She's definitely the female lead. So, I get She has a lot of screen time, and there's a lot of meat there for her, and I do like it. Here's my thing with Mary. Can I say this, actually? This was a genuine detracting experience for me, is that in season 1, Mary Crawley is canonically, like, 22. Except for the fact that the actress, whose name I'm forgetting, was in reality, like, 28. And the thing is, she's beautiful. She is stunning, but she looks like she's in her late 20s. Because she is in her late 20s. So they'd have these plot lines for her in season 1. This made me crazy. They'd have these plot lines for her in season 1 where it would, like, make so much more sense if she looked like Sybil's age, right? Like, if the actress was like Sybil's age, and they were like, she's young and she's stupid, I'd be like, yeah, she's young, she's stupid, she's in her early 20s. Except for the fact that they were presenting me with a woman who was old enough to, like, have a mortgage. I guess at a different time. Well, actually, with her, whatever. They were presenting me with a woman who's an adult. Who's, like, out of grad school age, okay? And I'm like, you are smarter than this. You should be. You have a fully developed brain at this point. So, like, you should be making better choices. But aside from that, once, like, season 2 started and she was supposed to be, like, in her mid to late 20s and she looked like she was in her mid to late 20s, I was back. I was locked in. I like Mary. I actually do. Do I think she needs better, really all-around experiences with men? Yes. Maybe men aren't for her. Have we considered a lesbian era? I think it would be good for her. Let's do Edith next. That is not where Edith Crawley goes. Edith Crawley is going to go and tell me more. I do know of one plot line involving Edith Crawley that is in, I believe, season 4 that is going to compel me. It compelled me the first watch, at least, I should say. And I'm very excited for it because as of season 2, she's kind of boring a little bit. Like, you can see the meat that is there, right? Like, you can see the inferiority complex, constantly trying to live up to Mary, the way her parents treat her, and also view her as sort of like, I don't want to say a failure in a certain way. I think, this is going to sound really mean. I would like to stress the actress for Edith, also very pretty. But they cast, like, gorgeous people from Mary and Sybil. And I don't want to say it was intentional, but I think it, like, adds a certain this is like when I saw Hadestown live at one point, and they got, like, someone short to play Hades, and I was like, this adds to the je ne sais quoi. This adds a layer that was not there in the original experience, or at least in my, because I've seen it twice. And the second time, they had a short guy playing Hades, and I was like, this adds something. It's like that, right? Because, again, Edith is beautiful, but, like, Mary's stunning. And I think that was intentional. And I think it's fun, and I feel bad for Edith. I feel like Edith is the epitome, at least in the first 2 seasons, whenever she's doing anything at all, where I'm like, oh, honey, oh, sweetie pie, you deserve better than this, because she does. Edith is nice and sweet, and when she had the soldiers, like, she was their girl, and she was their ride or die, and they loved her, but, like, I feel like she needs a ride or die. That's what she needs. She needs, like, her man that's gonna be her ride or die, and is gonna, like, slap Mary. You know what? We've done 2 sisters. Let's do Sybil last. I love Sybil. I adore Sybil. I know she's gonna die in the season that I'm up to, because I'm on season 3 now. I know she's gonna die. And it's gonna break my heart. I think she dies in episode 2, I want to say. I'm making that up off the top of my head, simply based on the fact that she was pregnant at the end of season 2, and seasons like to cover, like, a couple years. So I have to assume they're gonna knock her out early. I don't know. I do know I'm gonna lose my mind. Sybil's death, like, broke me psychologically the first time I saw the show, and I do believe it's going to do it again. I do believe Sybil Crawley dying after giving birth is going to emotionally shatter me in ways that, even though I know it's coming, I'm not ready for. But until then, I love her. She's so sweet. She's so nice. I am obsessed with her. There's the way she speaks. She has this, like, breathy voice that makes me a little bit crazy. I want to give her the world. I want to do everything for her. I should look up this actress. I wonder what else she's been in. Who do I want to do next? Let's do Vera Bates next. I am unfortunately very obsessed with Vera Bates. There's one reason why. She's in 3 episodes of the show. She's not, like, a real character. She's by far the least significant character on this tier list. Maybe not for plot reasons, but for, like, being an actual character. The thing is, this actress, kind of the best villain energy I've seen in television. She is so good in this show. It's crazy to me that she walked in and was immediately, not the baddest bitch in the room, but, like, the baddest bitch in the room in the way that, like, the evil queen is the baddest bitch in the room, that kind of vibe. Right? Like, listen, I don't know what this actress has been up to. It's been 15 years. I want her cast as, like, a psychotic, beautiful enchantress. That's my dream for her. I want her as a villain. Okay, her as a character, I don't care. She's there, she's fine. The actress is so good. Anyway, let's do John Bates next. I don't care about John Bates. I don't care about John Bates. My singular John Bates hot take, I do believe he killed his wife. I do believe that. I know he gets out eventually, because he does, I believe, kill another man at one point. I do believe he killed his wife. I do believe he killed Vera Bates. Other than that, because that's also, like, not confirmed. I don't think you're supposed to believe he did it. So, like, I can't count that as, other than that, like, he doesn't do anything. He has a great inferiority complex. There are, like, 5 people already on this tier list and 2 more that we haven't ranked yet that also kind of do. So, like, I don't care about his inferiority complex when, like, Edith is right there and hers is more compelling. You know what? Let's do Anna next. Anna, I like. I do. I don't actually think she has more that you could tell me about. I do simply like her. I think she's nice, and she's sweet, and she's too good for her man, and too good to her man. I will say that. I do know there's another plotline involving Anna when John Bates killed another man. I do know that plotline is going to really upset me, because it's meant to, but I'm not looking forward to that, because I like her. I do think it will give her, like, a bit more of an oomph factor that could, like, bump her up a tier, but for now, she's nice. I would like them to show me more Anna. Maybe not with Bates. Show me more of Anna with Mary. Anna and Mary have a fun dynamic that I do like a lot. Other than that, she's kind of there. I'll tell you a story. I'll actually tell you a story about Anna that I will use to round out this time. So as we've established, my mom, right, loves Downton Abbey. Seen it like 10 times. At one point in time, because Downton Abbey was airing, like, right when, like, everyone got an HDTV. And at some point in time, my family also got an HDTV. And we were watching, like, season 3 or 4. And it was one of the episodes. It's an episode where they're in bed together. I think it's right after Bates gets out of jail and they fuck. But either way, they're in bed together. And my mom was watching it for the first time. First time she'd seen the show in HD. She turned to me because we were watching it together and she was like, Anna has really bad skin. What does Bates see in her? And I looked at her like she was a crazy person. Because that's a deranged first thought to have. Anyway, let's do Ethel next. Ethel's fine. She's there. Her plotline was interesting. I thought I remembered her giving up her baby. I might have made that up, or I might have frankly forgotten that she did do it. I thought she gave up her baby. Did I watch the entire season and have her didn't she end season 2 not giving up? I thought she gave up the baby. Like, the entire time I was watching it, first of all, the man she chose to fuck, Major what's-his-name, not even hot. Not even serving face. His mustache was a bit horrifying. But either way, like, I thought she gave up the baby. Am I losing my mind? Update. Upon consulting the Downton Abbey wiki, she does not give up the baby. So I really did forget, like, a bunch of the show. I was, like, thinking to myself, I was like, does she come back in season 3 for, like, a random scene to get... No. She doesn't give up the baby. Anyway, let's talk about Mrs. Patmore now. I want them to tell me more about Mrs. Patmore. I really do. I feel like there's stuff there that could be really interesting, and they just don't dive into it. Like, that little arc she got when her nephew died, that was interesting. She was compelling to me in that moment. Maybe it's my desire for grief studies, but even so, like, she was interesting. I want them to tell me more about her. Mrs. Hughes, I am kind of obsessed with. Does she have, like, 3 character traits? Yes. They definitely could also expand on Mrs. Hughes. Unfortunately, I'm still kind of obsessed with her. I think she's fun. I think she's messy boots. I don't remember her being this messy boots in my first viewing of Downton Abbey, like, upon recollections of it. But, like, she's messy as hell. She let Bates take her tea in her sitting room, entirely so she could eavesdrop on the conversation. Iconic. Iconic behavior. She's messy. She's fun. She's devoted as hell. I like her. Let's do... Where am I going to put you? I like him. I do. I do remember liking him more later in the show, but for now I think he's fun. Maybe it's the wokeness in me, but, like, he never lied politically. He was right. I do think it was really fucking funny when he was gonna, like, throw nasty shit on that general and everyone thought he was gonna fully kill the man, And he was like, no, I planned on dumping sewage on him. I'm not that crazy, right? And I like him. I like him in Sybil. I know I like him more in seasons 3 and 4, so I am looking forward to that. But for now, he's hot and I like him. This is such a weird lineup that's left. Let's do Lavinia. I wish they would have told me more about Lavinia. Because Lavinia, to me, I feel like only existed in the show to sort of be like drama for Mary and Matthew. And not in a way that like Jorah Mormont's character was, because like he was a character. He had a world all to his own. He had a life. Lavinia, I feel like, was just kind of there to create mess and then die, right? They really said, we just need a messy little arc where Matthew has a fiance. Then they wrote her out of the show for 2 episodes, brought her back and killed her off completely. It was insanity, and I liked her. I would have liked her more if she like did anything, but like she was fun. She was interesting. I would have liked to know more. We couldn't have like kept her around as a friend at all. She couldn't have just vibed in the corner. She had to die. Here's the thing, right? If they had used her death and Matthew's like whole thing with her death as like an actual reason to keep Mary and Matthew apart for like more than 2 episodes, we could have talked about it. But like it was the same season. She died, Matthew crashed the fuck out a little bit, and then decided to marry Mary. In the span of like 2 episodes. Okay? Absolutely not. I would have liked to know more about her. We should have kept her in the corner as like a little friend. Let's do the Lord Grantham next. I like him. I do. I'll put him in kind of obsessed. I think he's fun. I do actually no, I'm moving him down. I'm moving him down exclusively for the affair arc, which we've covered. We've covered my thoughts on that. We've covered that I reject it outright. That did not happen in my canon. But aside from that, I do like him. I think he's fun. I think he's interesting. He could be good. I would like to know more about him. But also, he's nice. Carson, I'm kind of obsessed with. I really am. I like Mr. Carson. I think he's fun. His devotion to Mary, kind of insane. That is her ride or die. There is not a man on this earth that's gonna love her the way that man does, including her own father and husband. So, like, I love that for her. He's amazing. He's so cute. In, like, you know the way that, like, little old men are cute? He's so cute. I want to hang out with him. I kind of want to get him, like, weirdly high and see what happens. I think he'd be really funny. I'd make him juggle. Remember when they introduced his circus arc for 1 episode and then never brought it up again? I think we should bring it back. Do they bring it back? I don't remember. I think they should bring it back. I think he's fun. I think he's nice. I like him. Last but not least, the one and only, the late, great Dame Maggie Smith. You had to know she's going here. I feel like we all knew. The number of times I was watching the show and she'd say something and I'd just be like, I fucking love her. I love her so much. She's so fun. She's so funny. She is the best character in this show by like a mile and a half. It goes Maggie Smith, like 5 different walls made of different material, William and Sybil, right? That's the ranking to me. She is an icon. She is a legend. Her outfits are incredible. She tried to save William and then fucking Violet Crawley got in the way and he had to die. I love her. She's never done anything wrong in her life. Anyway, that's all I got in this moment. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Or don't. I will truly be fine either way. Other than that, comment whatever you want. In the description, I will actually put a couple things. Mainly, I will put a playlist that has all my other character rankings. I've done this for a couple shows now. Shows I've talked about include, but are not limited to, Game of Thrones. I did a whole character ranking for. I did some Lost at one point. The Diplomat. I've done a couple different shows. So, like, I'll put the playlist down there. You may watch it if you so choose. Otherwise, yeah. Thank you again for watching. Bye!